All right, y'all. Woo! How we doing today, Blue Phase? Blue Phase Plus here, Mike speaking. I just want to say, y'all, we did it. We got it running, y'all. So I tell you what, this thing has been driving me crazy. We found out we had an electrical short in this thing. It was blowing fuses. Come down to it, I think it was probably this relay. Here's a quick part number, and this is kind of what it looks like. So you actually have a relay box down here in this fender area, which in some videos I'm going to show you just after this intro. It's going to show you just kind of what we did, the fuses. It's going to get a little bit more in depth of what we did to figure out what was causing the no start. As you all heard, this thing literally fired right up. The power is all there. Man, this thing is getting ready to be back on the road. So we actually uninstalled. We just disconnected these fuel connectors on the coils and your fuel injectors. We just disconnected all those connectors. We also disconnected the connector at the throttle body up underneath the car, and we also disconnected the electrical fuel pump that is located under the back seat. So we have some videos that are going to entail just kind of the steps there that what I described to you. So if it's something you want to see how we finally got this thing running, I'm going to go ahead just real quick, start the video, and then just let them all play out, and then I'll go ahead and end the video and let you guys you know, take in all that. And then if you have any questions, just leave them at the end of the video, and I appreciate y'all. So let's get into this, see how we got this 2010 Jeep Patriot Facebook find running. Yo, let's go. She's running nice and smooth, y'all. Real nice. So looking at the panel schedule, 26 and 23. 26 and 23, we keep blowing them. And the relay, I believe that feeds them, is down in that box. It's kind of hard to see it from here. So down in that fuse box, that's where all your relays are. We're looking for the ASDS relay. I have a feeling that's shorting out, causing these two fuses to blow. I'll just upload an image showing you the location. So we're gonna go ahead and open this cover and see if we can't pop those two tabs and find the ASDS relay. So you just pull back on this little tab here, and then this pops out. Now the relays, you can see them down there. So the one we're going to replace is this one right here, guys. So I'm going to pull that out real quick and bring this up to the parts store and match up that relay. Let me try to pull it out here real quick. There it is, y'all. I have a feeling this is what's causing our no start. I went ahead, I pulled the fuse out, 15 amp, blown to smithereens. This one's still good. So I'm gonna go ahead and match this up, take it to my local hardware store. We're gonna put it back in there, and we're gonna see if this thing will fire up, y'all. So just a clear shot for the part number. We just got back. We couldn't find one, so I went ahead and I just ordered a 4-pack online for like 25 bucks. So we're actually gonna replace all 4. And I'm wondering that they're all the same. I'm gonna just try to flop one. So I just flopped the one from the back just to put into that place. Then I'm gonna change this relay. I mean this fuse here. Second, just Fuse 15s. Put a new one there. Get rid of the blown up one. And let's grab another new one. Alright. So we went and checked all the fuses. No more is blown. We put that 15. We swapped the relay. Let's get inside this thing and see if this thing will fire up, y'all. Moment of truth. Here we go, y'all. Gonna set the mic right here. Here we get. Man, I thought that was gonna be it, y'all. Oof. We got a serious issue, you guys. This thing blew again. Blew apart. Huh. So, I think I'm going to have to wait until I get those new fuses. Or those new relays. But we keep blowing the fuse, y'all, so that's not good. We got to see why that fuse is blowing. We're trying to figure out what's causing our fuse to blow, so we're disconnecting our fuel injector connectors. If you guys need to disconnect the electrical, what you're going to want to use is a pick and a small flathead. And if you look, there's this little red spot here. You'll poke it, and then you'll take your flathead here and just kind of pull up a little bit, and it'll release it. This will slide up. Then you can push this button, give it a little turn, just like that, pulls right out. So same, easy just to put it on, just push it on, locks right on. We're going to go ahead and just disconnect the electric. Just make sure we don't get none of this mixed up. So I'm going to keep them right where they're all going. Just like that. So to access the gas tank, we have to pull this rear seat out. We're going to remove this T55 bolt here, and there's going to be another one right over here. So I have a breaker bar with a T55, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those two, and then we're going to pull this seat out and access the fuel tank, fuel pump. T55 Torx right out. Alright, so now you're supposed to just lift up on the seat. Just like that, y'all. And there it is. It pulls right out. Alright, so to access the fuel pump, just lifts up. Stick it out the way. Looks like we have some wiring. There's actually a little slot. You just stick the flathead into it, push it, and then it pops right up. And there it is, y'all. So once you got access to your fuel pump, there's a ring in here. To remove it, we're going to go ahead and just disconnect this electric. Should just have a press connector on here. There we go. So with the connector disconnected, we'll have no more power going here, so hopefully the short is cleared. So after all those videos, the fuse box for the relays is down there. This is the fuse box. We ended up putting in a new 15 amp fuse. We had actually disconnected the computer also to rule that out. These just slide up, pulls out, be very careful. Here's just a quick close up on the coil packs, those connectors. And then your throttle body is actually located right down there. It's actually a lot easier to get to it from underneath the car. And also, if you guys watch the videos, the back seat, I didn't put that back, but you have your fuel pump access. So I got to close all that stuff up. But yeah, that's basically what we did. Put in 4 new of these relays, some new fuses, fired right up, y'all. Unbelievable. So AC's blowing real nice and cold, y'all. That's a plus. Huh. Wow, that AC right there, ice cold, baby. And we got 155,000 miles on the dash, no codes. So the funny thing is about the codes is once I finally got it to start, we actually had 11 codes. So I'm going to go ahead and post those at the end of the video. So if you guys want to look into some of those codes, but we were ending up able to clear those codes after test driving it for a few minutes. We're also going to be doing an oil change to get it running a little bit smoother. So if you guys want to check out a video like that, stick around, subscribe. We're also going to do the transmission filters and fluid change for the CVT transmission again. So that's another video. So be sure to subscribe if you guys are interested. Let's go ahead and go outside, and I'm going to show you guys kind of the overall of what we did and what we completed. All right, y'all. There it is. The 2010 Jeep Patriot Marketplace Find. Video is coming to a close. I just want to say, y'all, we did it. We came, we saw, we conquered. We picked this thing up, found it online. We went ahead, we called, we made a deal. We brought the owners what they wanted. The car is everything they described it was. It's a one owner, very clean. So yeah, basically loaded this thing on a trailer, got it in the driveway. If y'all want to see those videos, go back and check them out. We straight up got this thing here, and I just want to be very transparent with you guys. I don't want to not trying to hide anything here. Just want to be straightforward with you guys. I want to take this channel and start getting it growing. So to all my new subscribers, don't think I haven't seen y'all. I've been seeing my numbers come up, and I want to thank y'all for your time watching some of these videos. Truly grateful to have you guys watching. Hopefully we can grow this channel, maybe get out from under a tree, maybe get into a shop or something like that. And maybe if you guys like stuff like this, please comment, please talk to me. Let me know what you guys do like, what you don't, if you guys have ideas. But I'm kind of thinking just going out there and finding these deals, whether it's a boat, jet ski, a Jeep, whatever, and go ahead and just using what knowledge we find on the old interwebs and try to restore it or get it back up to running. And instead of going out and financing and signing something and making payments, guys, these deals are out there. That's what I want to show. You can get out there, actually get online. I'm in this car $1,000, y'all. $1,000. I paid $700 for the car, $100 and a buddy, a truck. We hauled it back, about $200 in parts and some other stuff, you know what I mean? Little things we're gonna do. Like I'm gonna do an oil change. I'm gonna do a video on changing the transmission CVT fluid, so that way we have some nice clean fluid. It's got over 150,000. The owner said they never serviced that, so that was very nice information. So I'm gonna do that. Car runs, drives, handles great. AC's ice cold. Like, I love this car. I was thinking I was going to sell it. Maybe I got it for the old lady. I think we're going to hold on to it. It's turning out to be a real nice ride. I like it. And you know, I'm going to try to keep it going, y'all. So that's what we do here. We find deals. We not really just trying to fix and flip kind of thing. You know, maybe I'll sell some of my stuff. Like, I don't know. But that's not kind of what I'm doing. I just hopefully educate people or get people out off the couch and get out there on the interwebs, get some tools, and don't be scared to use your hands, y'all. Don't be scared to get dirty. Don't be scared to get in after it. And like we say here, can't break something that's already broken. So if you guys get something cheap enough, a good deal, don't be scared, y'all. Take $500 to $1,000, go find something. Find yourself something with some potential. Try to stay away from transmission or engine failures. Look for something like that was an electrical issue or a fuel issue or something like that. You don't want to be putting a motor or transmission in, but at least with the miles, 150,000, I'm seeing these things go for over 200,000 miles, and people are still driving them. People love them. Some people hate them, but you know, I think it all comes down to maintenance and taking care of your stuff. You take care of your stuff, it's going to take care of you. And you know, that's what these people did, and I appreciate that. I see that on the interior. It's not just dogged out, it's not just falling apart. So stay away from stuff like that. Stay away from basket cases. Buy something that's intact, a whole. Nobody's been in there. That's where you're going to get your good deals. That's where you're going to have your most success on restoring something. But at $700, I took a chance on this. It was a motor or a transmission. I'd probably have to part the car out or go ahead and just sell it to the junker and take a loss and keep on moving on. So fortunately, we found a good deal. The good Lord had gave us that opportunity. We took it. We went after it. Didn't back down. And I'm very happy the way this turned out, y'all. And I just want to thank y'all again. If you have any questions, feel free to just leave them below. Just want to be real with y'all. I'm really thankful for all y'all, and hopefully we can grow this channel and get some more videos like this. Y'all take care, and I appreciate y'all, and good luck with y'all's find. Get after it. Get you some tools. Don't be scared. Learn something new every day, and you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is, y'all. Take care. God bless. Peace, y'all.